From Daily Trust News Center, this is News Hour.
On News Hour tonight, normalcy gradually returning to Sokoto as state government relaxes curfew. Gunmen kill 6 in Takai local government of Kano State, abduct district head. Petroleum Minister withdraws from presidential race. 14 reported killed in Indonesia as bus crashes. Hello and welcome to News Hour on Trust TV tonight. I am Eugenia Abu. Normalcy is gradually returning to Sokoto as the state government relaxes the 24-hour curfew. With the relaxation, residents can now move between 6 in the morning and 6 in the evening. Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that markets and businesses within the state capital are being reopened with security operatives on patrol to enforce compliance with the order.
While the dust and anxiety generated here in Sokoto State is gradually being settled following the state government decision to relax the curfew from 24 to 12 hours. Now, as you can see, activities, businesses and markets are being reopened and people are moving as usual, even though by 6 o'clock everywhere will be closed down again until 6 o'clock in the morning. But look at what is happening in Sokoto. People have come out in mass today, unlike yesterday. And in most places that we've visited, we've seen markets, businesses, and all other activities are returning to normal. Recall that this situation was generated as a result of a blasphemy statement that was said to have been committed by a student of Shehu Shagari College of Education. Now, earlier today, we visited the school to see what's happening, even though the school is still closed, and security operatives were deployed at the gate of the school to ensure that nobody is going in or out of the school. And we've seen what happens at the school, and actually a lot of places were set on fire, even though we are not allowed to film within the school environment, but we were able to see the gate of the school premises. So generally activities are being returning in Sokoto, and people are moving as usual. Now, people are still asking for the state government to see how they can be able to completely remove the curfew so that things will return normal. I will continue to watch over the situation and see what will happen in the next 24 hours or so. Maybe the state government will finally remove the curfew. And the police is saying that investigation is still ongoing to see how they can be able to apprehend the other suspect. Meanwhile, I've been talking with some sources within the Nigeria police force who are telling me that the principal suspect, who is said to have been killed, the lady, is nowhere to be found. They said he's not a Nigerian, he's a Nigerian. And they are searching for him, and there is a possibility of deploying Interpol to search for him within the Niger Republic. Or whatever the case may be, that has been done, but situation is generally improving here in the commercial city of Sokoto.
In a related development, the police have arraigned 2 suspects in connection with the murder of the 200-level student of Shehu Shagari College of Education, Sokoto, Deborah Samuel, who was accused of blasphemy. The suspects, Biliaminu Aliyu and Aminu Hunkuchi, who are also students at the college, were arraigned before a magistrate's court in the state on Monday. According to the police first information report, the suspects were arraigned because of the mob action which led to the lynching of a student. After the suspects pleaded not guilty to the charges, the police prosecutor, Inspector Khalil Musa, asked the court for another date to enable the police complete their investigation. The court adjourned ruling on the application to a later date and directed the defendants to be remanded at the Sokoto Correctional Center. Amidst tensions in Sokoto State over the killing of a student of Shehu Shagari College of Education for blasphemy, the Gombe State Police Command has held an emergency meeting with Islamic and Christian clerics to strengthen peace. The meeting, which took place on Monday at the police headquarters, had representatives of Muslim and Christian communities, in Gombe State. Ibrahim Ismail now reports.
The State Commissioner of Police said the meeting was to strengthen understanding and sustain peace between Muslims and Christians in Gombe State. The Commissioner also commended the effort of Islamic and Christian clerics in preaching peace to their subjects and asked them to collaborate with the police to maintain law and order.
Please, I want the religious leader, the preaching that will come out of it, let the preach of peace. Is that okay? Let the preaching that will bring unity. Let it be the preach that will bring togetherness. Because we all want to know, no matter what this is, whether a Muslim or Christian, let leave the remaining one to God. Let the Christian religion leader make the list, whatever that there shall be peace. Let the Muslim leader make whatever that is. Let them be religion of peace.
The representatives of Jamaatul Nasrul Islam, JNI, and the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, vow to maintain peace among their followers.
I believe all the religious leaders, they are after peace. All of them, including the Muslims and the Christians. And I believe we are going to take action where we continue our interfaith meeting so that peace will continue permanently in Gombe State.
If there is peace, we are the direct beneficiaries of that peace. And if we are the beneficiaries of that peace, we ought to protect that peace by living in peace with one another.
Gombe is believed to be one of the most peaceful states in the country. Stakeholders say it is important for all to work towards maintaining that status quo. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
In the meantime, gunmen suspected to be kidnappers have killed 6 persons in a village in Takai local government area of Kano State. The gunmen were said to have raided Karfi village in the local government and abducted the 53-year-old village head, Abdul Yahaya Ilu. They were also said to have stormed the village on 3 motorcycles from Bauchi State through Ringim Forest in Jigawa. Confirming the incident, the spokesman of the police in Kano, Abdullahi Kiawa, said a team of operatives has been dispatched to the local government area with the goal of rescuing the abducted village head and arresting the suspects. The Borno State Police Command has recovered and defused an improvised explosive device in an IDP camp in the state. Briefing journalists on the development, the Commissioner of Police, Abdul Umar Saeed, said the explosive device was planted by ISWAP terrorists inside Dalori IDP camp in Konduga local government in the early hours of Monday. Umar, who revealed that its operatives also apprehended some suspects with Premium Motor Spirit PMS, assured that the command will not condone any unlawful assembly in the state.
Arrest of some criminal elements with petrol. Actually, you see, that is the essence of crime prevention technique. And sincerely speaking, and what I've told you we have been doing is what we are doing. And in the course of the movement, some youth were started with content suspected to have been fuel inside the jerry can. For us to be proactive, we pick them, and we are going to interrogate them, and we don't know whether it's going to be used for a purpose, and hence they are with us. We'll substantiate and later give brief on that. I personally received an information that there is a suspected object planted somewhere in the IDP camp, of which I've already, without delay, directed my experts, EOD experts. They are there, I've been communicating with them, and they confirm it's an improvised explosive device planted just across the wall inside a plastic bucket with a panel. And The experts have given me assurance that they are going to defuse and dispose the IED.
Borno State Commissioner of Police, Abdul Umar. And still talking crime, suspected arsonists have burnt down Idemili North Local Government Secretariat in Ogidi and a magistrate court in Anambra State. Reports say the arsonists entered the premises on Sunday night to perpetrate the act, burning down all files and properties in the secretariat, including the secretariat building. Videos and pictures circulating online show that the entire buildings were reduced to rubble, while vehicles parked outside the local government secretariat were also burnt. Spokesperson for the Anambra State Police Command, DSP Tochukwu Ikenga, who confirmed the incident, attributed it to unidentified arsonists. He said normalcy has been restored to the area. There was stampede in Owerri, the Imo State capital, as some people claiming to be members of the Indigenous Peoples of Biafra, IPOB, tried to enforce the sit-at-home order on Monday. Shop owners around Wetherell and Douglas and Nekede areas had to quickly close their stores, while motorists made quick detours, almost hitting one another in the process as they tried to avoid members of IPOB. Within minutes, the whole streets became deserted, while those who dared to go out became stranded. Meanwhile, IPOB has denied that it sent voice notes asking people to sit at home on Monday. The organization said the order applies only on Wednesday, when its leader, Nnamdi Kanu, will make a scheduled court appearance. The federal government on Monday said the Abuja-Kaduna train service will resume on May the 23rd. Train services had been suspended on the route after terrorists attacked a train, fatally shooting several persons and abducting scores of passengers in March. In a statement signed by spokesperson Yakubu Mahmood, the Nigerian Railway Corporation, NRC, said the decision to resume services does not mean efforts to secure the safe release of those abducted will be put on hold. The families of those abducted have threatened to resist the reopening of the train service. In the statement, the NRC said customers must present a valid photo identification card and a reachable telephone number of next of kin or close relative before boarding a train. You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. Stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. You're still watching News Hour on Trust TV. Let's take another look at our top stories. We told you that the Sokoto state government relaxes curfew as normalcy gradually returns. And gunmen kill 6 in Kano and abduct village head. President Muhammadu Buhari and the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, have filed a suit at the Supreme Court seeking an interpretation of Section 8412 of the Electoral Amendment Act 2022. In the suit filed on April the 29th, the President and the Attorney General of the Federation, who are the plaintiffs, listed the National Assembly as the sole defendant. They are seeking an order of the Apex Court to strike out the section of the Electoral Act, saying it is inconsistent with the nation's constitution. President Buhari and Malami also contended that the Constitution already provides qualification and disqualification for the offices of the President and Vice President, Governor and Deputy Governor, Senate and House of Representatives, House of Assembly, Ministers, Commissioners, and Special Advisors. The National Assembly, in its counter-affidavit filed by its lawyer, Kayode Ajulu, asked the Supreme Court to strike out the suit on the grounds that the Supreme Court cannot be invoked to amend the provision of any law validity made by lawmakers in the exercise of their legislative powers as granted by the Constitution. Minister of State for Petroleum, Timothy Silva, has withdrawn from the presidential race of the All Progressives Congress APC and returned to work. Reports say Silva withdrew his ambition, having considered the enormous work at the ministry. An official at the ministry who chose to remain anonymous said Silva withdrew from the race to support President Muhammadu Buhari in his quest to achieve a robust oil sector. In a similar development, Minister of Women Affairs Pauline Talon has dropped her senatorial ambition in the 2023 election. Talon made this known in a statement in Abuja on Monday. She said her decision was to enable her focus on the foundation laid towards the advancement and realization of gender equality in leadership positions in the country. According to her, President Muhammadu Buhari's commitment to the advancement of women necessitated the need for her to continue as the minister, which will help in addressing challenges affecting women and children. The minister expressed her appreciation to the wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, her constituency, and all well-wishers for their continuous support. As primaries of political parties draw closer, presidential aspirants have continued to solicit the support and votes of delegates from Kaduna State. The latest is the immediate past transport minister, Rotimi Amechi, whom we gathered turned in his resignation letter Monday afternoon. Fatima Ladan now reports.
As primaries of political parties draw closer, presidential aspirants have continued to solicit the support and votes of delegates from Kaduna State. The latest is the immediate past Transport Minister Rotimi Amechi we gathered turned in his resignation letter Monday afternoon. Amechi said, as the youngest and the most experienced among the party's presidential aspirants, he is more qualified for the job than others.
I may be 56, one of the youngest aspirants, but I'm the most experienced. Most experienced, govern a state that had insecurity like Kaduna. I don't know how many of you remember those days that you can't visit Port Harcourt. All of you were scared of coming to Port Harcourt because of the level of insecurity. So I have had experience of governing a state where there was insecurity.
The ex-minister also responded to questions on the Kaduna-Abuja train attack, with about 62 passengers still in captivity.
I join every person in cabinet to own up to the fact that we may have failed. But we did our best as a government to ensure that lives and property on the road were saved. We did our best. So those who have been kidnapped, the federal government is doing quite a lot to get them released. But security is not discussed in the public glare. Security is done privately and quietly until these people are released. You may not hear much. I join those parents who are not happy to request that they be calm until the government is able to get those people who are in captivity released.
From the opposition, the People's Democratic Party, one of the contenders, Peter Obi, whose campaign train was in Kaduna, says the current administration has failed the country through mismanagement of resources, adding that it is time to turn the country from a consumption to production economy.
The money we borrowed and consumed or thrown away, if we are taking just 10% of it, 5% of it and thrown to textile industry, Nigeria would have been a different place. We can earn more money from exporting textiles and garments than we earn from oil. Oil is just giving us $15 billion. So we can do more. All you need to do is to remove Nigeria from consumption to production.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has set June 3rd as the deadline for the conduct of party primaries in the country. Fatima Saleh Laden, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
And still talking politics, the Bauchi State Governor, Senator Bala Mohammed, on Sunday said Nigeria had the potential to become the world's biggest economy if properly developed. Mohammed made the remark in Jos, the Plateau State capital, while soliciting for votes from delegates in the state during the forthcoming presidential primaries of the PDP. Mohammed, a former FCT minister, said that he had defeated incumbent governors more than once, adding that he had the capacity to win if given the mandate as PDP flag bearer. The presidential aspirant said that he would secure and boost the country's image in the Committee of Nations. The PDP chairman, Plateau State, Chris Hassan, described Mohammed as a good neighbor. Hassan said that as delegates, they would assess all the aspirants with a view to picking one that was most suitable for the country.
The international best practice. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. The wheel has already been invented. All we need to do is to copy it. I have grown to respect it. I have understood our diversity. Even the diversity of Jos, the diversity of Bauchi, the diversity of Borno, the diversity of everywhere. I have visited all the states, all the towns in Nigeria. I have friends in all the towns and cities of Nigeria, either as a media men, civil servants, or legislators, or members of the State Executive Council. I have built bridges. I have understood the problem that is causing exclusion, disillusionment, hatred. I have the medicine for it. The medicine is justice and equity, and mutual respect, and transparency, not arrogance. We have mistrust and suspicion between us. My brothers were here. Why won't the Igbo do something? We will not betray you. Amen. Amen. We are discussing with all the delegates, and we see the difference of the Plateau State to what we do. In the party, when our problems came in the party, he was one of those governors that stood behind the People's Democratic Party and won. Today we have 7 states, including Plateau that is forming. 7 states. 7 states, including Plateau, that is funding every month. They are showing us a big father and a big brother. And like I told you last time, the problem that is behaving Nigeria, there's only one solution. The solution, of course, is God and we ourselves. And the solution is only in People's Democratic Party.
In the meantime, Plateau elders have warned that the imposition of a candidate on the people would cost the All Progressive Congress, APC, the governorship seat in Plateau State in 2023 elections. A group of Plateau elders under the aegis of Equity and Justice Forum gave the warning at a press briefing in Jos, the state capital. In the group's message, signed by Umar Shitian and Sumaila Makama as chairman and co-chairman, the elders alleged that the incumbent administration of Governor Lalong has commenced moves to manipulate the outcome of the party primaries in favor of his preferred candidate. It noted that the injustice and imposition of candidate perpetrated by the People's Democratic Party, PDP, during its party primaries in 2014 is about to repeat itself in the APC, saying that the party will lose the governorship seat to another party if care is not taken.
It would be recalled that in 2014, Equity and Justice Forum did a press briefing cautioning then Governor of Plateau State to halt the plan of imposing an anointed gubernatorial aspirant during the gubernatorial primaries in the state. The forum also stated the consequences that will follow if the warning was not heeded to. However, that fell on deaf ears. Eventually, the consequences caught up with the governor and the PDP in the secondary election. If we give our consent to this act about to be perpetrated within the APC in the state, we have become partakers of it. And this contradicts our firm belief in the growth of democracy and dispensation of equity and justice to all. In the light of this, we are lending our voices against the undemocratic act about to be executed by the present leadership of the ruling party in the state.
You're still watching News Hour on Trust TV. We'll be back after this break. Stay.
Every patriotic Nigerian should hear this. Any politician who means well for the people will never allow themselves or their supporters to engage in any violent, destructive activities. No politician who truly wants to serve the people and develop the nation will encourage his followers to destroy properties or take human lives before, during, or after the elections. The Nigerian public must watch out for these traits and isolate any politician who encourages supporters to engage in violence. No genuine politician or patriot will cause trouble and seek to destroy the very society which they aspire to lead or develop. Politicians who have the good of the people at heart will not allow themselves or their followers to engage in violence, destruction of properties, and then taking of lives. Be vigilant. By their words you shall know them. Shun violence. Stay away from politicians who want you to do so. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. This message is from the National Orientation Agency, NORA.
Thank you for rejoining us. You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. Members of the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, on Monday blocked major roads in some cities in Oyo, Edo, and Ondo states. This was in protest of the prolonged industrial action by members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, because of several failed negotiations with the federal government. While protesting, students at the University of Ibadan blocked the school's entrance in the state capital. Those from Ladoke Akintole University of Technology, LAUTECH, barricaded the major road along where the institution is situated in Ogbomosho. In Edo, students at the University of Benin, UNIBEN, cordoned off the Benin Auchi Ramat Park axis of the state capital. They later proceeded to the Federal Secretariat in Benin City to present their case to the government, where they breached the gate. In Ondo, students at the Federal University of Technology, Akure Futa, barricaded the Akure-Ilesha highway to condemn the lingering strike by the lecturers. The demonstrations came a week after NANS leadership declared a mass action tagged Operation Test Run in all 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory.
Still observing their prayer, and as you can see, and everywhere is quiet, peaceful.
And from the students' demonstration, we return to politics now. Over 40 aspirants are competing to be presidential candidates of the two major political parties ahead of the June 3rd deadline given by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for parties to submit names of their candidates for the 2023 elections. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman x-rays some of the contenders and their chances of clinching the presidential tickets of their parties.
15 contenders are battling to pick the PDP presidential ticket, but 3 are considered front runners. Atiku Abubakar, a former vice president, party's flag bearer at different occasions, an aspirant with over 11 million votes in his kitty during the 2019 presidential election, a top-notch businessman with deep pockets.
We should focus on the issues, not our differences. Let us unite and fight our common enemies. That is lack of unity, insecurity, poverty, inflation, and unemployment.
Bukola Saraki, a two-term governor, a former Senate president, a former chairman Nigeria's Governors Forum, several-time presidential aspirant with understanding of party politics and relative financial muscle.
This is not the time to surrender value and despair. Rather, this is the moment when all patriots, all citizens of goodwill must show courage, rise above those lines of division that have kept us apart. The very important question for us: where do we go from here?
Nyesom Wike, a two-term governor of oil-rich Rivers State, a former education minister, a man who brought life to the dying opposition political party PDP after suffering a heavy defeat from the APC in 2015. He is relatively known outside the South-South politics.
Some people say, no, don't mind Wike, say madman. I agree. I agree. But Nigeria is a mad country. So you need a madman to take care of a mad country.
In the ruling APC, the incumbent Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, a former Lagos State Commissioner of Justice, a pastor and law professor, he is seen largely by his admirers as loyalist and gentleman. His faith-based antecedents and a perceived betrayal many think will work against him.
I had the honor of serving under a transparent leader, President Muhammadu Buhari, one who exposed me very diligently to all that there is to know about governing a complex and a complex and very diverse country such as ours.
Next is national leader of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Bola Tinubu, who midwifed the birth of the party at inception. Two-term governor of Lagos State, mentored successful politicians. He built a network of political associates, courtesy of his deep pocket. Age, religion, and regional politics are said to be stumbling block.
You are my leg, you are my wings, you are my wing to get me there. And I promise you, I will not let you down.
Rotimi Amechi, Taban da Dan Amanan Daura, trustworthy son of the Daura Emirate, is a two-term governor, a former speaker, transportation minister for nearly 8 years, former chairman Nigeria Governors Forum. Though seen as a bridge builder, he is not enjoying the support of his kinsmen.
I'm compelled by the urgency of our present challenges to place my experience and proven capacity at the service of the nation at the highest level.
Entry of Senate President did not come as a surprise to many, but many said opponents can ignore him at their own peril. The incumbent Senate President Ahmed Lawan can rely on statutory delegates to snatch the ticket courtesy of the recent amendment to 84 subsection 8 of the Electoral Act, waiting presidential assent. He is, however, seen as a hardcore loyalist to Buhari government.
Place my trust fully, totally and completely on the Almighty God. That God will bless us,
bless this movement and this journey. And I want to appeal to all Nigerians that we are seriously committed to taking Nigeria to the next level.
Another contender outside the two parties is Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, a two-term governor of politically sophisticated Kano State, a former minister, leader of the Konkwasiya movement in Nigeria. He is out to flex his muscle and grassroots appeal under the platform of a relatively obscure New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP.
This chapter is completed. What we have to do is to go back to our own states, our local governments and what? And not to only register ourselves and our families, but you have to tell each and every Nigerian to register with NNPP.
While the PDP presidential aspirants will scramble for votes of the 3,700 delegates, their APC counterparts will battle to secure a comfortable number out of the 7,800 delegates to decide the party flag bearer. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The FCT Police Command has arrested 3 suspects in connection with the murder of one Teungwa Stephanie, a 26-year-old corps member deployed to City Homes Estate, Lokongoma, in Abuja. Stephanie, who reportedly left home on April the 14th in her NYSC uniform, was declared missing and later found dead on April the 27th. The arrest was made following the deployment of tactical and intelligence assets at the command's disposal, attached to the Homicide Department of the State Criminal Investigations Department, SCID. The suspects were paraded at the FCT Police Command in Abuja. Trust TV's Madia Umar now reports.
At a press briefing, the FCT Police Commissioner, Babaji Sanda, stated that the trial of Jennifer Sembe, a 26-year-old lady, Mondi Simon, aka Black, and Solomon Abu, both male, aged 36 and 35, all residents of Maitama area of FCT, confessed to the crime.
Discreet and painstaking investigation by tactical and intelligence assets of the command attached to the homicide section of the State Criminal Investigation Department, State CID, led to the arrest of 3 suspects, all residents of Oguta Lake, Maitama area of the FCT, who criminally conspired and murdered the victim to separate her from Edward Achadu, so that Jennifer Sembe, one of the suspects, an estranged lover of Edward, could have him all to herself, especially for pecuniary benefits.
The suspects speak on the involvement in the alleged murder of the corps member.
My own work day is just tie the gear and go. Then as I tie the gear with my friend Jaru, where he's not here, so as we touch her, we just go and leave her with the Jennifer in the house. So our plan is, she said that she will give us 100,000 when she get the money from her boyfriend. Their boyfriend will give her, she collect money. So I don't really know how much is that. I don't know how much she's going to collect, but in our discussion is she will give us 100,000.
She lured the girl. I don't know how she managed to get the number of the girl. She called the girl. She promised to give the girl a phone, according to her. So on that fateful day, on a Thursday like that, I was in the office when she called me that I should please come so that I will help open gate when the girl comes. And I foolishly accepted to come open the gate. So I came. When I came and I met this guy and one other guy there with her. I said, what's happened? She said she wants them to scare her when she comes so that she will not make noise, so that she will get information from the girl and then later call Edward, their boyfriend that they are dragging, to collect ransom.
Today's briefing is targeted at reaffirming the commitment of the command to the fight against crime and criminality in the territory as a way of encouraging the good people of the territory not to relent in cooperating with the police.
He said the suspect will be charged to court upon the conclusion of the investigation.
In another development, Justice Yetunde Adesanya of the High Court of Lagos has adjourned the trial of Chidinma Ojukwu to the 23rd of May 2023. This comes as counsel for the third defendant, Ngozi Akandu, is seeking a vacation of trial date. The High Court of Lagos annexed at Tafawa Balewa, sitting at Lagos Island, on Monday, continued the trial of Chidinma Ojukwu and 2 others. However, Ngozi Akandu, counsel to the 3rd defendant, Chioma Ebuchi, admitted to having challenges with the document handed over by the previous counsels. Akandu, who stated that there wasn't enough facility for the 3rd defendant to proceed with the case, noted that there were consequences if the case continued. Egwon Wuka is a counsel to the 1st defendant, Chidinma Ojukwu. He spoke to reporters after the session. Justice Adesanya adjourned the case to the 23rd, 24th, and 26th of May 2022 for continuation of trial.
There was no judgment. If you want the summary of the proceedings, yes. Well, the 3rd defendant, Chioma Ebuchi, changed her counsel from OPD to a private lawyer. The office of the OPD has not availed him with those processes, or the processes that were served on them by the DPP, that he will be meeting them today after today's court sitting. It's coming up again next week, 23rd, 24th, and 25th. The counsel to the 3rd defendant had actually applied for the vacation of all the dates. That's for all the dates, all the pending dates. And the judge said that she will be able to do it.
At least 480 girls drawn from 3 local government areas of Gwale, Nasarawa, and Ungongo in Kano State are being mentored to boost their self-esteem and build their capacity to be productive citizens. The training under the Girls Education Project 3 was aimed at educating the girls on their roles in the society and also sensitize them on the benefit of education for the girl child. The lead facilitator at Muhammadu Meigado Gaya School at Gwale Center, Zubaida Musa, told Trust TV that the program was tagged Girls for Girls because the participants are being trained to train other girls in their localities. One of the beneficiaries of the training, Rabiat Mohammed, said the training changed her orientation on many issues.
A UNICEF intervention activity, and we are going to train like 450 girls in this phase. Probably we are having 2 phases. This is the first one, which included Gwale, Ungogo, and Nasarawa local governments in 3 different clusters. And this G4G is, the meaning of G4G is Girls for Girls. And the reason why it is called that is because the bigger girls are training the younger ones. There is no male, it is not a male affair, it is about girls for girls. And what it's all about is about empowering a girl child. We are training them in different ways, like in education, like in gender, for them to differentiate between gender and sex roles. There is also life skills, which included active citizenship, active participation, hygiene promotion, which usually taught girls about how to take care of themselves, more especially during menstruation, how to clean themselves, how to change their diapers, and so many more.
I fear of education because before I will come this place, I don't know many things, but when I come this place, they teach me how education is so good, and education for girls is so good, and they teach me it's our right to give us education. That's what they teach me, and I know many things about education because of G4G. That's why.
Rabiat from the Girls Education Project in Kano. And away from girls' education, we now go to journalism. The chairman of the FCT Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Emmanuel Ogbeche, has called on journalists not to relent in holding political office seekers accountable to ensure that democratic dividends are delivered to the electorate. Ogbeche gave the charge while receiving the newly elected executive of the Cross River Journalists Forum, Abuja, in his office. The chairman himself, a Cross River State indigene, assured the new executive of his support and advised them to embrace teamwork to enable them promote professional practice amongst journalists. Earlier,
so it was deeper than just being from Cross River and being brothers. So I want to say congratulations, sir. and to other members of the executive. Like you rightly said, leadership is a trust that requires commitment, dedication, and sacrifice. You have been called amongst many, to chart a new course and to build on the legacy of the immediate past ESCO.
So the reason we are here, number one, is to let you know that we are not just loyal, but we are asking for your direction. That's first, because there's nothing we want to do in Abuja here that will not come to you. And then secondly, just like I was telling the elders of the forum that day, don't be tired of receiving us or of seeing us, because whatever thing we want to do, we must first come here and discuss with you, have your thought, and see how you can aid us on how to see this person, where to go, and how to go about things. And then thirdly, that we are very committed. We did not just seek this election for the sake of election. We have put our thoughts together, had our various objectives, and married them. And one of the things we decided is that in the next few years, we'll try as much as possible to make a difference.
This is Trust TV. You're watching NewsHour. We'll return after the break. Stay.
Residents of the Federal Capital Territory are hereby alerted to the activities of scavengers, also known as Babambula, which security agencies have identified as a high-level security threat to not only the residents but also to our infrastructure as they perpetrate petty stealing and acts of vandalism on public utilities. More so, they are drug peddlers, serve as spies to terrorist elements, and are ready-made tools for the public disturbances during which they attack people with dangerous weapons. The Federal Capital Territory Administration therefore reiterates that the ban on scavengers aka Babambula operating within the Federal Capital City is still in force. These miscreants are advised to stay off the streets of the Federal Capital City for their own good, as defaulters will be apprehended and prosecuted, including parents of underage children involved in these practices. Relevant agencies are carrying out enforcement of this ban as stipulated. Be law-abiding always. Let's together build the FCT of our dreams. Management announcer.
Thank you for rejoining us on NewsHour. And now to health matters. Nigerians have been advised to shun bushmeat to avoid contracting monkeypox. The Director General of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, Ifedayo Adetifa, gave the advice on Monday. He said the greatest threat to health security are zoonotic illnesses, which monkeypox belongs to. He said monkeypox is a pathogen that affects animals but has acquired transmission capacity to humans. The NCDC, in its latest report, said the country recorded 558 cases and 8 deaths from monkeypox across 32 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory between 2017 and 2022. The Airline Operators of Nigeria, AON, has alerted Nigerians of an imminent disruption in flight operations as the scarcity of aviation fuel, popularly known as jet air, worsens. The spokesperson for the association, Obiora Okonkwo, in a statement on Monday said the fuel scarcity was affecting smooth operations of air transport operations, adding that it would lead to flight rescheduling and cancellations. Okonkwo, however, said the association and its members were working in alliance with product marketers, government, and relevant stakeholders to ensure availability and proper pricing of aviation fuel in the country. Time now for business, and we join Chamung Dabeng for business news.
According According to the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) latest CPI inflation data for April 2022, the headline index grew 0.02% month-over-month to 1.76% in April 2022. Nigeria's Consumer Price Index (CPI), often known as inflation rate, rose to 16.82% in April 2022, the highest level in 8 months and the third increase in a row since January. Food inflation, which accounts for more than half of all inflation, also increased to 18.37%, the highest level in 7 months, up from 17.2% the previous month. Increases in the cost of bread and cereals, potatoes, yam and other tubers, wine, fish, meat and oils produced this rise in the food index. Prices of gas, liquid fuel, cleaning, repair and hiring of clothing materials, other pieces of clothing and clothing accessories all increased the most. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) has imposed a limit of 10 billion naira for funds raised via digital asset offering in the next 12 months. A digital asset, according to the Commission, is a digital token that symbolizes assets such as debt or equity claim on the issuer, and a digital asset offering includes initial coin offerings (ICOs) and other distributed ledger technology (DLTs) digital asset offerings. The prohibition is part of the Commission's new regulation on digital asset issuance, offering platforms and custody. These restrictions would apply to all issuers trying to raise funds through digital asset offerings, according to the market regulator. According to the SEC, the new guidelines require the issuer to show that the total revenues collected from the digital asset offering will be adequate to complete the project as described in the white paper. The Commission stated that a person may invest in an initial digital asset offering subject to the relevant limitations. Freight charges in the country's seaports have increased by 67%, resulting in price increases for vehicle spare parts. According to freight forwarders, they used to pay around 600,000 naira to clear a 40-foot container loaded with used vehicle spare parts, but now pay over 1 million naira for the same consignment. Spare parts dealers have since spoken up, stating that the cost of their items had risen due to the foreign exchange crunch, and the cost of clearing containers and effects will be felt by the consumer. Jeffrey Nwaosu, chairman of the Tin Can Island branch of the African Association of Professional Freight Forwarders and Logistics of Nigeria, stated that importers are increasingly loading cars before inserting used replacement parts in order to save the cost of clearing their consignment. That's all for business news. I am Chamun Dabeng.
Reports reaching us say operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on Monday, May 16th, arrested the Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, in connection with diversion of funds and money laundering activities to the tune of 80 billion naira. The Commission's verified intelligence showed that the Accountant General of the Federation raked off the funds through bogus consultancies and other illegal activities using proxies, family members and close associates. The funds were said to have been laundered through real estate investments in Kano and Abuja. Idris was arrested after failing to honor invitations by the EFCC to respond to issues connected to the acts. And now to foreign news. A tourist bus with a drowsy driver slammed into a billboard Monday on a highway on Indonesia's main island of Java, killing at least 14 people and injuring 19 others. According to police, the bus carrying Indonesian tourists from Surabaya, the capital of East Java province, was returning from a trip to central Java's Dieng Plateau, a popular mountain resort, when it hit the billboard on the Mojokerto toll road just after dawn. East Java Traffic Police Chief Latif Usman said. Television news showed police and medical personnel removing victims from the bus, which crashed just 400 meters before the highway exit. Usman, who said police were still investigating the cause of the accident, noted that the driver, who reportedly appeared drowsy before the crash, is yet to be questioned. The driver, because he suffered severe injuries while others were being treated for broken bones. Golden Boys Football Club of Oshogbo, Osun State, has won the 16th edition of Surat Soccer competition. The club defeated Ario FC Erin-Osun on penalty shootout in the final match played at Fa Kunke Unity School to lift the trophy. Time now to join Adeni Ajishafe for more on sports.
Nationwide League One NLO have announced a 2-week break for 2022 league season commencing from May 16 to May 31st, 2022 to allow participating clubs the opportunity to beef up their teams with new players. The clubs will use the break to fortify their teams by registering additional players to prosecute their remaining matches. Meanwhile, NLO will also use the window to play the Nationwide League 2022 Division 2 league scheduled to commence from Sunday 22nd to Saturday 28 May 2022. And still in football, Director of Competitions in the Confederation of African Football, CAF, Samson Adamu, has confirmed that Mauritius has won the case it filed against Sao Tome and Principe concerning 2023 Africa Cup of Nations preliminary qualifying fixture, and will therefore join the combatants in Group A for qualification series in June. Victory for Mauritius at CAF Disciplinary Committee means they now join Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and Guinea-Bissau in Group A of the 6-match phase that ends in March next year. Mauritius had filed a protest against Sao Tome and Principe, who won their preliminary qualifying fixture, insisting that one Sao Tome player had tested positive for COVID-19. Nigeria will play Sierra Leone in Abuja on Thursday 9 June and then play Mauritius on Monday 13 June. That's Sport News. I am Adeni Ajishafe.
And with that, we have come to the end of News Hour tonight. For more news, connect with us across our social media platforms. I'm Eugenia Abu. We thank you for staying with us.